the video for how to do question 22. So this is a pretty confusing question, and in addition to being just pure confusing, it has several steps to it. So whenever you get a confusing question where they throw a bunch of numbers at you and it's kind of difficult to figure out where to start off, just ask yourself at the end of the day, what do they want from me? And they want concentration of acid. So hopefully by finals time you'll be familiar with all the different equations that include concentration of acid, like this one. However, and then after you've written all of them out, you'll know, oh wait, I don't have pH to work with, so obviously that's not the equation I want to use to find the concentration of acid. You'll instead be wanting to use the one I mentioned during tutoring, where the subscript of the acid times concentration of the acid times volume of the acid will equal the subscript of the base times the concentration of the base times volume of base. And then it's just going to be a matter of filling it in. So you'll have to know that, I don't know if it's given on your PR table or not, what sodium hydroxide looks like and what phosphoric acid looks like. The right side of this equation doesn't matter. You just care about the subscripts of your acid and base. So either you have to memorize those two molecules, or it's given on your PR table, in which case you don't need to memorize it. So subscript of acid, let me change colors. So subscript of the acid, that's just this number, the subscript to the H in the acid. So in this case it's going to be 3 times concentration of acid, which is what we're actually trying to find. So we'll leave that there. Times volume of acid, they give it to us straightforward, 25.2 milliliters. You don't have to worry about it being milliliters or liters for this kind of problem. And then subscript of base, in which case it's going to be 1, because there's just one hydroxide in sodium hydroxide. So 1 concentration of base. So they don't just flat out give us the concentration, they give us a lot of different masses, not a bunch, but they give us 1.75, and then they give us different volumes to work with, so we'll have to figure that out later. And again, we have to decide which volume we need to use as well. So let's start here. So the first thing is finding out the concentration of our base. So what we're told is that they got 1.75 grams of sodium hydroxide, so we got sodium hydroxide molecules, and they dropped into a beaker containing 225 milliliters. And this is 1.75 grams of sodium hydroxide, that's just 225 milliliters of water. They just want to make a solution of sodium hydroxide. So we have to figure out what concentration the solution is. So that's just going to be molarity. So make sure you memorize that it is moles over liters. I'm going to actually put it over here. So, oh crap, I figure out moles, huh? Alright, so that's just going to be molar mass of sodium hydroxide, so 1.75 grams of sodium hydroxide. I have a periodic table. So sodium is 23. Plus 16 plus 1, 40. So we'll be rounding, so our answer might not be exactly right. So 40 grams for sodium hydroxide. Those cancel. Let's see how many moles that comes out to be. 0.044 is good enough. Wait, let me make sure I put that right. Let's see. 0.044, okay. 0.044 moles sodium hydroxide. Alright, now we have moles. Now liters, so this it does have to be liters, you can't just leave it in milliliters. So we have two different volumes in the problem. We have the 225 and the 45.3. So you want to figure out how many milliliters were put in our beaker, which in this case was the 225. And then we have to convert that. That's just divided by 1,000. It's a simple one, so I'm not going to show the math for that. Liters. Punch that into the calculator. Divided by 0.225. So 0.196. All right, now we have our molarity, which we can plug in here. All right, so next is volume of base. So what happens is that after we made this solution here, we mix the 1.75 grams with that amount of water. We take 45.3 liters of this and we add it to our acid titrated against. So 45.3 milliliters of our beaker here of sodium hydroxide was used to titrate the acid. So this is the volume we're going to use. So now we have everything we need to write out our equation. It's just going to be to rewrite the whole thing. 3 times our unknown times 25.2 milliliters. I should point out that it doesn't matter if you use milliliters or liters. Just make sure you're consistent, in which case I use milliliters on the left. I have to use milliliters on the right. Times 1 times our 0.196 times this guy, 45.3. Now hopefully, if I did everything right, it should be just simple algebra. So 0.196 times 45.3 divided by 3 divided by 25 something. So something like 0.118. And that answer I think was 0.117. I kind of covered it, but close enough. So that's how you go about this. So again, the big thing is memorizing this equation, not getting stumped by weirdly phrased questions, and mostly just practice. Well anyways, best of luck. Let me know if you have any questions about this video.